Welcome to RepostExchange, where we bring you the latest interviews with RepostExchange members from around the globe. In this episode, we're honoured to feature London-based songwriter, producer and singer Neev. Here she is in conversation with Jazz from the RepostExchange team, expressing her excitement about Seawall being featured in our remix competition. Neev delves into the inspiration behind the song and shares insights from her own production journey. So sit back, relax and enjoy this exclusive interview with Neev, only on RepostExchange. Ba, 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 ba. Anyway, it's really nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you finally.
I know, after all this time. I know, we must have listened to Seawall like 20 billion times in the office. I mean, but what a track to listen to.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you for being like part of our very first remix competition.
Yeah, no worries, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what people do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Really.
Yeah. It was nice when we were choosing the track, and the guy who's been helping us, who has some like previous competition, remix competition experience, he was like, Seawall's perfect. He was like, because you could do like a sort of like a Dido Eminem thing, like have some rap in between.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you could put drum and bass under it, or you could like make it into like tech house, techno, like the possibilities are like endless. So you produced Seawall as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I think like Seawall was such a funny one, actually, talking about songs that could be anything, like, because Seawall went through so many different iterations, actually.
Did
like it was originally going to be part of Currents, the EP that came out before the album.
Yeah.
But I just could not nail it down, and I'd like send it around to a couple of friends, and I had this one friend I sent it to. He was like, "Right, bear with me. You'll need like an entire session band." And it's like it was like this new folk number, and like he added like a full band like production to it, which like kind of took me off down this path for a while, and then we went super ethereal with it, and then we came back a little bit. But yeah, it was a real journey, was Seawall. And then it ended up being exactly what it should have been all along, which was kind of bare bones. And then by that time I had like a really good relationship with Annabelle, who'd done all the strings on the EP, so she just kind of like knew what to do with the tunes now. So it, although like the pre-production felt incredibly like I'm never gonna finish this, when I kind of like felt like rested in what it was going to be, it was very natural, actually, in the end.
That's good, yeah, because it feels so like effortlessly kind of gorgeous, and I really like how it sort of builds up, and then after each sort of verse, and like you can see that in the waveform. I love that. And then you've got the sort of like the descending harmonies that come down through the chorus, like are so beautiful. And I really like the beginning and the end. Really beautiful little touches.
Oh, thank you. I love those moments like so much. That like doing that little intro, I mean, I don't even like, all those moments are like you don't even know how you do them at the time, really, but that was like such a like spark for me in terms of like what I feel like my production style is and can be and like can develop into. And because it's the first track of the album as well, it felt like really important to like welcome the listener.
Yeah.
Settle them in. And like in that like 4 seconds or something, you hear like almost every instrument that's on the album, really. Like there's like samples in that little thing that aren't actually just Seawall or other tracks, and it felt really, I think, important to kind of like start packing those little trademarks in, I think. And they've done me so well. Like I feel so much more confident about adding those little pockets of like texture in now. I think they can do a lot for so little sort of time. And thank you. I'm so glad you noticed it, because I'm fond of those moments. But I mean, ask me to recreate them, and I literally couldn't.
And I will hit the seawall. If it's not in my lungs and it's not in my blood, I can't remember all the things that I have given up. If it's not in my hands, not something I can plan. This isn't something I'd expect for you to understand. If it's not in my blood, then it's not in my lungs. I can't remember all the things that I have given up. If it's not in my...
How did you start making music? Bit of a starter question. What's your name?
I'd kind of always played music. Growing up in high school, I'd been in a few bands here and there, and piano was my first instrument, but I was never that interested in taking it very seriously. I think I never really, I loved my piano teacher. Actually loved him very much. He was a really good friend. But whenever I was like tried to be taught like singing or guitar, I just didn't enjoy it, and it felt really weird, and like, I just didn't, and I hated music in school. Fast forward, I kind of just taught myself guitar over time, and then I took my guitar to uni because it was like portable. Literally like the key thing, like lightweight. And I wrote a bit in uni, and then I gigged a little bit in uni. I did like I went to Edinburgh, and I did a couple of open mics quite regularly. And I really enjoyed those, but I never really kind of took it any more seriously than that, mainly because I'd written like one song I liked, or like two songs I liked, and that just didn't feel like enough. And then I moved to London for a master's, and then I had got my first office job, and I was really bored, and I ended up like writing loads, I think, because of that. And I kind of found myself in this 9 to 5 with a bunch of songs that I liked, and was like, right, I'm in London. I've got a sort of predictable sort of work pattern, and I've got these songs, so I may as well just like give this a go now.
Yeah.
But I was like 24 by that point, so there's a lot of like, oh, is it too late? 'Cause, you know,
it's never too late.
It's so ludicrous, like looking back to even think that, like, but you know, you're just kind of surrounded by like really successful, I don't know, you see
children,
it a lot, don't you? Like really young talent. I think the industry really wants to make you think that everyone like popped out the womb like incredibly talented. But anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just spent all of 2019 gigging like crazy. Like, I think back now, and I just don't know where I got that energy or the drive, but gigged a lot. And then I put out my first single, and I kind of experimented with different producers and different like recording patterns, and it kind of went from there really. And I think I kind of got into the swing of things when I started kind of taking production mixing more seriously from my perspective. And it was really over lockdown that I really got to like dig into production and dig into recording and arranging and band arrangement and things like that. And that's kind of where I am now really. I'm just kind of making projects out of those interests, which has been lovely. And Seawall was actually kind of one of the first songs I wrote about like a piece of art, which was like around a play. And now that's become like a huge thing for me actually. Like all of my new kind of songs and writing is kind of around pieces of like chapters of books and more theatre that I've seen. And
I really like the idea of that, of like weaving in your personal interests into your songwriting, and like using those as like a theme or a skeleton to hang the sort of music under.
Yeah, it's been a lovely process actually, and I think it gives me a lot more like freedom. I think I've become less self-conscious, I think, if it's like I feel like I'm kind of channeling a character, and there's always like stuff underneath that. The reason you resonate with a piece of art is probably because of like what you're going through or kind of what you feel, really. But especially with writing now, like I wrote a song based on the play Medea, like the Greek.
Oh yeah.
Because I just loved watching a woman be angry for 90 minutes. I just loved
Yeah.
that. It was so inspiring, actually.
Yeah.
And I like, after it kind of looked up the script, I know that's probably the wrong word for it, but like the writing of it, and wanted to pick out themes and think about it more in depth. And then that feeds its way into the production, and so it's been so Seawall really was like a nice way of learning a lot about what I enjoy when I write and how I write.
Gravity down, energy lows. What a way to admit that I might break down if I don't just go. You said slow down, and I said no. You said don't burn the ends of the candle. Can't keep it, can't run the earth will be back at one. And I will hit the seawall.
What are you looking forward to about the Seawall remix competition?
What am I looking forward to? I am just really excited to see what people do with it and what they pick out. It's one of those songs actually where a couple of people have spoke to me being like, oh, I love this bit in it, or like, oh, I love like this little part of it. And it's never the same answer, actually. Like, I've heard lots of people say different things about what attracts them to the song. So that's probably going to be really interesting here, of like, what's the thing that people either want to like put on loop or make mega loud or push to the back or repeat, or I'm interested to see how it'll be arranged. I hope it's got a lot to sort of choose from in terms of like what you gravitate towards and what you don't. That's probably what I'm most looking forward to, just hearing everyone's different takes and hopefully a couple of different genres in the mix as well, as we were saying.
Me too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to variety. And then also because it's the first time we've run a remix competition, and we've got like such a variety of members throughout the world. I think we're just going to be spoiled for choice, actually. I think it's going to be really difficult to pick a winner.
Oh, that's so exciting. Yeah, I mean, just the act of getting to listen to all these different like versions of it, it's very exciting.
It is. Actually, people can win a RepostExchange hoodie.
Sick.
It's one of the prizes.
They're very cool hoodies. I really like it. I mean, I'm a hoodie person myself, as you can see.
Oh, there you go. Hoodies are the best.
Hoodies are brilliant.
They also hide a multitude of sins. All right, well, Neev, it's been absolutely lush to talk to you.
Yeah,
thank you so much for being my guest.
To you.
I know, after all this time, and I'm aware that I feel like I sort of like proposed the idea to you for the remix competition, and then I feel like it's sort of snowballed a little bit. So thank you for coming along on the ride.
Don't worry, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be very interesting. It's not something I'd do normally, and not because I don't want to, just because I suppose I'm not really in that world. If you go into my Spotify, I used to do like top line vocals for a couple of different producers. So
yeah,
there's like a bit of that type of music. I'm not going to say any genres because I'm going to get them wrong. fast music, fast dance music genres. So like I used to kind of know it a bit better, that world and that type of music, but I've definitely fallen out of it. So it'll be great to hear what people do with Seawall. It'll be just really interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for deciding to use it for this competition.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much.
The seawall.